Leviticus 22 addresses the regulations for the priest's conduct in relation to holy offerings and the sanctity of these offerings. The chapter emphasizes the need for both priests and offerings to be without blemish, highlighting the holiness of the offerings presented to God. It also addresses who can partake of the offerings and the importance of upholding God's standards in worship. Scene script, application in today's life. The principles from Leviticus 22 remain applicable today. 1. Offering our best. Just as the offerings were to be unblemished, we should offer our best to God in all aspects of our lives, including our talents, resources, and time. 1. Living sacrifices. Leviticus 22's focus on the priest's holiness reflects our call to be living sacrifices, presenting ourselves as vessels dedicated to God's service. 1. Reverence in worship. The chapter's emphasis on maintaining the sanctity of offerings reminds us to approach God in worship with reverence and sincerity. 1. Discerning participation. The instructions on who can partake of the offerings encourage discernment and worthy participation in the Lord's Supper and communal worship today. 1. Consistency in holiness. Just as the priests were called to maintain holiness in their lives, we are called to live consistently holy lives, reflecting God's character. 1. Honoring God's sanctity. Leviticus 22 teaches us to uphold God's sanctity and to handle sacred matters with respect, both in worship and in our daily lives. 1. Inclusive worship. The rules for who could eat the holy offerings demonstrate God's desire for inclusive worship, where all who are in Christ can partake. 1. Gratitude and devotion. The priest's role in partaking of offerings reminds us of the importance of gratitude and devotion as we partake in communion and worship. In conclusion, Leviticus 22 teaches about offering our best, living sacrificially, reverence in worship, discerning participation, consistency in holiness, honoring sanctity, inclusive worship, and gratitude. While the specifics may differ, these principles guide us in offering ourselves to God, approaching Him with reverence and living lives that reflect His holiness. Through Christ's work, we can partake in a deeper, meaningful relationship with God and experience the joy of worship and devotion. Till next time, I'm your host, Evangelist Thomas.